We're ready. Whenever you're ready, Al.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. That's this here. Cool.
We ready?
Who's the third mug for? Is it for Mikey when he shows up?
He could be coming down.
Which one?
Lapsang? Okay.
Very nice. On the far side.
Okay.
He said he left.
I'd say he's gonna miss it. Cam said they just left.
Yeah,
Never know.
10 minutes ago.
Maybe
He'll
could
be
come in
He can come at the
just
last
at the
minute.
end.
Yeah.
just when it's really, really getting tough.
When we keep asking any questions.
That's it.
any,
We're live.
Are we
Al?
are we live on audio now?
Okay. Well, oh, there you go. Oh, excellent. That's
We
excellent.
have been.
Well, welcome. Paul Harney. I have my nephew, Emeric, here with us.
My middle name is also Paul, so you can call us both Paul if you'd like, but I do respond better to Emeric. Am I named after you?
I don't know about that, but I don't see why not. I hadn't really thought about it, but I think, and it's an excellent idea. If it didn't happen, I think it's a great idea that it could have happened.
I think there's.
I
An
think
Uncle
it's
Paul.
after the other Uncle Paul.
There's another Uncle Paul. He's a Jersey Uncle Paul.
That's who I was named after, and I would assume that moved along.
Yeah.
He was a good man. He
Was
worked
he-
on the Hubble telescope.
Is that true?
Yes.
I thought he was he a pilot of some sort?
No, he was an engineer.
Engineer. Okay.
Engineer down there in Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey.
Bergen County, right?
Yes.
That's
So we're talking tea.
yeah, we are talking to you, not
Em.
names here. So I wanted to show to everybody, we are going to be doing Mardi Gras coming up soon. And so we are doing some festive.
When is Fat Tuesday? When is that? Fat Tuesday?
We've
When is
got
that? Anybody know when that is?
Fat Tuesday.
It's
I was
coming
gonna call
up.
it
It's
Mardi
coming
Gras.
up.
I think
It's
it's the 22nd.
And we got Ash Wednesday. What is that? 21st?
21st is coming up. So with that, we are running a promotion this weekend about people's guilty pleasures and things that they might enjoy at something like Mardi Gras. So we've got a collection of teas here that will be on sale this weekend, and I figured we would go through that today. So what are you drinking?
Right now, I'm drinking Tropical Green, which of course tastes like a
Jolly Rancher.
Jolly Rancher. Tegan loves, my daughter, she loves herself some Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah.
So who wouldn't like a Jolly Rancher?
No, not at all. I mean, the flavors that we're using in there are tropical Hawaiian flavors, mainly pineapple, right?
Yes.
You guys made that well before I think I was involved with the
This was sort of a cut into the tropical world, which we'd never really drifted into, and this was probably the beginning of that, quite a while ago.
It was definitely one of our earlier flavored green teas that we had.
It was right after Organic Green with citrus and ginkgo. I believe it came fairly shortly after that. But it is pineapple. People love pineapple, and
it makes a good iced tea, right?
makes a great iced tea.
Somehow hasn't made it into
Hasn't made it into an iced tea yet, but always tomorrow.
You and I had talked about at one point maybe of making it a bottle.
Yep.
And
it's still it should. We definitely got to do it. We finally this year in a bottle we're going to do raspberry lemonade.
That's going to be good. So we're going to take our existing
raspberry,
lemonade.
yep, and our existing raspberry and kind of make it a raspberry, like
Tart. Is it going to be like
sort
a tart side, or is it going to be super like sweet raspberry?
I think sweet raspberry, yeah, not too tart,
Nice.
little sweet. And we're also going to something like that is going to go into the hemp division with 50 milligrams of CBD.
Wow, that's quite a dose there.
It's going to be kind of a little relax.
There you go.
So that's something. A little guilty pleasure, though not quite ready yet.
Not yet. Soon
But we
enough.
have plenty of things that are ready today.
Yeah.
And the table smells fantastic.
I
just want to cut in real quick because we did get a comment about the title of today's episode.
What is what is the comment?
Ilya is saying, "Ain't nothing guilty with drinking some tea."
This is a true statement.
This is.
Maybe
And
we just address.
yeah, no, and if tropical green, if that's as guilty as it gets for you, then you're
Life is
probably way ahead of most. Probably. I mean, we've got no sugar, nothing in this. This is just delicious green tea, a couple natural flavors.
And then which one did you bring over here?
I just brought over lychee, which Marcus, who was, I think, on the last episode with us, he gave me a gift, and in that gift were some lychees.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. And Tegan ate, I think, about 30 lychees in a sitting.
Did you guys have to peel them?
And she had to peel them. Yeah. No, she wore that thing out. She almost ate all the lychees right off the rip. So you never know.
Well, it's nice because it is one of the teas that we've had for a very long time. And
Lychee's delicious.
I think that for a lot of people in the United States, lychee may not always be a fruit that they think of. You know, we think about
That's
apples,
true.
we
Yep.
think about pears,
Yep.
peaches, but lychee is such a wonderful, sweet flavor. And
That's exactly right. And then the great thing is it's certainly one of my favorites, actually.
underappreciated in our
Highly
category.
underappreciated. Well, it's a little softer.
Right.
It's a little softer note than you're going to get with the tropical. But, you know, if you added a little, I mean, the thing about any of these flavors is if you add a little bit of sugar to them, the flavor really pops up. Not that I'm telling you to add any sugar to anything. Let's not kid ourselves.
We might be trying to avoid sugar with having our guilty pleasures be something that is sugar free, but you know, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself a little bit.
Exactly right.
Even if you're avoiding something much more sweet.
Maybe a little of that Buzz honey.
Ooh.
That could be good.
Or the Manuka.
Or the Manuka. We
the
certainly.
Hunua.
Yes.
How do you say that?
Yes. I don't know how you say it, but the multi-floral honey from our friends down there in New Zealand. So this is, of course, bees that were not just eating. They weren't just discerning Manuka bees. These guys went perhaps to a couple other flowers while they were at it.
I think you're the one who really pioneered a lot of the honey products that we have on the website. We had the Pine Hill honey, unfortunately no longer.
That's it.
But you like.
I didn't have to pioneer very far because she was right. I drove by her place and I pulled in, and that was Kathy Bradshaw. That was a long time ago. That was 20 years ago.
That's
and
when we
and
started
she just,
selling Pine Hill?
Probably. And she just finally hung up the spikes. She said, I can't take it anymore.
Hopefully not because of bee stings or anything like that. But
nope. I think she just got a little old. But she made a delicious creamed honey.
Yeah.
That I don't know if we still have a creamed honey anymore.
But I think
it's hard to get that.
I think that honey appreciation does run in the family.
Yes.
Mikey likes to eat his honeycomb.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And peanut butter.
Zazi's mother.
Right. Zazi's mother.
Honey. Yes, that's exactly. Just named honey. So, I mean, what else do you need?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so over here on this side of the table.
Actually, sorry to cut in, Emeric.
Sorry, we're just on such a roll here. I didn't want to interrupt with any questions. We have some questions.
Well,
now.
it happened to be the thing you were just talking about, right? You were just talking about tropical green.
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
So, Ilya, who commented earlier, would like to know how much caffeine is in tropical green.
I think traditionally we say there's about 60 milligrams, something like that, in a cup. It depends on the size of cup, of course, but if one were to say an 8-ounce cup,
right,
60 to 80 is probably a reasonable number.
Right. And it also depends on how long you might be infusing the tea. If you're making green tea, you're probably infusing it for 2 to 3 minutes. So, you're going to get a decent amount of caffeine. It's still going to be less than a cup of coffee. So,
cold brew coffee, man, cold brew coffee, you're talking 400 milligrams. So
the canned coffee that we do is pretty crazy.
Yeah, whatever we do on the tea side is relatively mild at 60 to 80, something like that.
So
I think you got to really work at it to get above 80 on the tea side.
But also we know that in tea there is that amino acid present, L-theanine, which is it crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it allows you to kind of be in a bit more of a relaxed state. So anytime you're drinking tea, not only are you getting the caffeine and getting that mental acuity and perhaps energy and excitement, but at the same time, the tea is working to mellow you out a little bit.
That's true. No, that's one of the great things that, a allows you to focus in while you're drinking a cup of tea. That's why we've been so focused over these last 39 and a half years.
So
Could be the L-theanine.
well, let's not open up that can of worms just yet, because you might say 39 and a half. I might say 39 3/4.
That's true.
You and I are not eye to eye on when that.
We don't know when that started. I don't even have an opinion as to when it started.
Well, you were closer to knowing than me.
That's it. I don't know. I have no. I don't know how we came up.
We don't know
with it.
when
Somehow
in the
we
year.
came up with it.
Yeah.
I guess Pops came up with it, right?
He signed a paper.
He said
at some
something
point
that
in the
said
year.
this was when it all.
I think he said June, but neither you or I.
I don't know.
said June.
I've never looked at what.
We thought about like reaching out to Salisbury Bank and Trust, seeing.
I'm
like,
sure there's a
Norwood
document
Pratt
somewhere.
was,
Norwood probably has a record of it.
Well, Norwood's letter. We could probably look at his letter because his letter was definitely in 1983.
That was like a September New York Times. If I
Yeah,
remember
something
correctly.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a split the difference.
We're
August,
getting there.
October.
We're
we'll
getting
figure
there.
it out.
Suffice it to say, it's 39 and something.
Yeah, it's close to 40.
It's getting right around the corner.
Yeah.
Probably could have already crossed it. I don't know when
It
the
could-
White Hart sold. I guess that would be the marker.
Was that that was the closest marker?
Yeah, because then he didn't change the name until he left the thing. So I think when that transaction happened might be the.
Well, we'll have to look it up. We'll get back to it.
We're gonna get everybody the right number. But as of right now, we know it's 39 and something.
and change. So
What do we got next?
I was going to talk about what I'm drinking over
Okay.
here.
That's got to be delicious, probably.
It is good. This is decaf vanilla Comoro.
Ah.
So I believe that this was one of the original HT blends, right?
It was.
We had Big Red Sun, Chinese Flower, Yellow and Blue, and I think Vanilla Comoro.
And hot cinnamon for sure. Yeah.
Hot Cinnamon Sunset.
Yep. Something like that.
And at the time, we did what was like a silver tin with a black and white
It was
label.
a silver tin. No, it was a colorful three-sided
Oh, that's
label.
right.
And that was actually the first thing that went into Barnes & Noble was a labeled tin. And that was right when we moved into this building. This building was empty.
2000.
So 2001.
This was 2001. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Yes. So
But-
this is 22 years.
But we take a decaf Assam as our base, and then we've got some really nice vanilla flavor added to it. And it's confusing for some folks that shop around on the website because it was originally called Vanilla Comoro, and we said underneath decaffeinated black tea, but we've now added decaf a little bit more to the forefront of the 4-ounce tin. But on the
I'll be honest. When did that happen?
because of this situation.
when?
Oh, I'd say in the
First
last
time I've
2 years.
noticed it.
I'd say the last 2
It
years
doesn't
or
say
so.
it on our HT tins, though, right?
It doesn't say it on the
No.
inside.
Okay.
No, I
It
don't think
changed on the pounds and the loose tea tins, but it still says just Vanilla Comoro
Yeah,
on
I
the
just
HT.
noticed that now.
But reasonably understanding, we want to make sure that people understand that for
There's
those
no
that are
caffeine
sensitive,
in there.
there's
Yeah.
no
No, there's
caffeine.
no caffeine in there. And it's a delicious vanilla. And vanilla is one of those great flavors that does not get the play it deserves. But I think vanilla is a delicious flavor.
I really think it is also underappreciated. It used to be one of our iced tea flavors.
Yep.
And
And we're trying to revive it. So you guys out there, if you guys buy it, we can keep reviving it.
it's now back, but we need
It's
to.
back, but it's
only in bulk packaging.
Yes. Though a friend of mine did ask for a new vanilla iced tea fresh brew,
Ooh.
which used to be when I was growing up. That was it. That was the pinnacle. And it took a little while until the tropical flavors drifted back east from California. But Pops was a vanilla iced tea man.
Well, honestly, if you put a little seltzer in there, or not even like it's almost like a cream soda.
Yeah, no, it has the
Really enjoy
vanilla that we use has a really great impact on body and flavor. So it's a remarkable blend. Did in the words of my father, any questions?
Nice.
I think in the same tone he asks it.
I'd be, any questions, Al? So, well, first off, we got on YouTube Cypher Tonic. Fun one. Shout out to the holiday flavor. It's not up there, I don't think, but shout out to it anyway.
Yep.
Kelly is saying vanilla Kamoro is to die for. And then the nice little comment here from Nancy Altman, a longtime viewer. This discussion makes me realize how old I am and how long I've been drinking Harney tea.
Wow. We like to hear that.
There you go. There's some Florence for you.
Oh, nice. Where's the Florence labels over by you? I want to just keep it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got the next one I am drinking is let's see, where is it? Tiramisu.
Ah, yes.
Yes, which is right here in the middle.
Venetian tiramisu.
Yes, that's very nice.
Are
We
you
got
a
a little
dessert guy?
brandy.
You don't
I'm
strike
not a
me as
big dessert guy. No, I'm not a big dessert guy. Though I have been known to, as they say, eat some dessert every once in a while. I'll deny it, but people have heard me ratting around in the fridge later on, and they've brought that up.
Well, it's an interesting blend that Mike had come up with. I think this was one of the ones that we came up with around the time that another tea company was leaving the space.
Yes.
And we found that there were a couple of blends that they offered that we did not, and it inspired us.
Well, it's got a little brandy in there, right?
We just found the alcohol flavor supplier.
Yep.
And we were motivated and inspired to create a handful of new flavored teas. So this one has some brandy flavor in it. It also has some cocoa and vanilla. Oh, okay. Hello. Come take a look.
Yes.
I don't want to touch the leaves, but it's a very nice tea. And so the other thing that's really interesting about this tea is that instead of using espresso flavor in order to get that bolder touch that you'd find in an actual tiramisu, we used hojicha, which is a roasted twig tea from Japan. So not only relying on flavors, but just the different flavors, the natural inherent flavors in tea that we can use to create things that we enjoy in real life.
And it is a delicious tea. There really is a nice balance of the flavors. You almost do get them all in there. And the hojicha really is nice.
But we've got vanilla, cocoa, and all of that turns it into quite the masterpiece.
No, that's a delicious tea. We can only say nice things about it.
Yeah, I'm
got a
married to
beautiful
an Italian,
nose.
so I have to inherently say that I really enjoy this.
Well, it's good. It's good, right?
Yeah, and on the topic of Italian flavors, we do also have next. We have the Florence tea. So I don't know if anybody listening or watching, whatever you choose to do, enjoys Nutella, but this tea from Florence was inspired by that. So we took some chocolate and we added some hazelnut. And of course, if you're familiar with Nutella, those are the flavors in that delicious spread. And it used to be in just a black and gold label. And lately, we have kind of changed it to bring in this more Florentine red, and there are also some arabesque swirls there in the background that you can kind of see. It's very subtle.
See on the corner there,
Yeah. I'm trying to angle it so we can catch the light. So my father had gone on a trip with my mom, Alex and our mom, and they went to Florence and had a great time, and he saw a lot of that color red there. So he wanted to help the tea stand out a little bit.
It's great. It's I mean, one of the things we try to do with all of our flavored teas is, of course, make sure that the tea comes through as well as the flavors. So I think the unique thing, and that's something that is relatively speaking unique out there, because a lot of times the flavor is so heavy-handed that you really don't get a chance to taste the base tea. But we, of course, try to go in the other direction and start with a nice base tea and then layer the different flavors on top of it. And Florence, I think, is another example of a fantastic blend.
Yeah, it's interesting because there are other companies out there where you get a lot of like the additives, and the tea really sits at the back of it. So we do put an emphasis on having both. Yeah,
and that was a philosophy that started with old Stanley Mason back in the day. So that is a traditional way that they made Earl Grey, which was very light and a nice soft taste to it where you still got the bergamot flavor, but you also got the blend. And though Earl Grey is not a guilty pleasure, it is still a pleasure.
You were around when we used to flavor Earl Grey, where we would take the cotton swabs, right? We would dunk them in the bergamot, and we'd have to take an empty barrel.
That's how we make Father's Day. So we still, it's a hard way to go out there.
Tradition.
So it's a tradition, and but it is difficult to get that done. And originally, a lot of the reason they did that was that way you wouldn't see any of the oils on the top of the cup. You'd kind of infuse it in that way, and then how would they make flavors has improved immensely since then.
Well, and bergamot oil itself is one of the few ones that's a full oil. We do use a lot of liquid flavors, but they aren't an oil specifically.
Yeah, I remember that bergamot oil just eating through our turtlenecks or whatever the heck we wore when we were kids.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a very labor intensive way of making flavored tea. So it was nice, but it's also great to have the advantages of industrial innovation, and now we can make much larger batches and not have to be digging for.
That's
how many cotton swabs did I put in this barrel?
That's it.
Did I leave one in there?
It's complicated, very complicated.
We don't have that problem.
What do we got next, Em?
I think I wanted to get us over, since we're on the chocolate kick. We've got chocolate mint. So if anybody is a fan of Thin Mints or
peppermint
patties, we do have this tea, chocolate
and
mint.
Who isn't? Come on.
Where's my...
I mean, who doesn't want a peppermint patty? Right?
Yeah.
And this is a nice little riff on the chocolate mint. Happy birthday, Nina.
There you go.
Let me just tell you that we did not forget. We were waiting to a different time to make sure, Nina, you were still watching. And we'd like to say happy birthday to you.
Cheers to Nina.
To Nina. That Florence is unbelievable. Delicious.
Yeah. No, that's good. But now we're talking about chocolate mint.
Now we are. We've drifted into chocolate mint. And
so this we use our base.
You came over here and looked at that, but it's actually over there, isn't it?
It is over here, yeah. No.
I was thinking chocolate mint was not green. I was like, man, I missed something.
No. We do take our chocolate tea, and then we layer in a standard peppermint. So we have been ordering peppermint for a long time from the Pacific Northwest, right?
Yes, we have. From we used to say from the Yakima Valley, but that is actually not where it's from. I believe it's from the great state of Oregon, which is actually not in the Yakima Valley either.
I don't know where the Yakima Valley is, though.
Well, suffice it to say that's not where the peppermint comes from.
I believe it's Washington.
Yes.
I only know that because I love Yakima racks.
Exactly right. Which it all tied together very nicely, except that's not actually correct. And it is from the great state of Oregon.
As I understand it, sometimes we buy from Washington and sometimes we buy from Oregon. So
it could be something like that.
It does vary so that we keep a good quality of peppermint available.
That's the truth. But it's peppermints. Peppermints can often be kind of sharp. And if you're a big peppermint drinker, you'll notice that sometimes they can be a little heavy-handed. And this is a nice one. And it's, of course, blended nicely with the chocolate and the black tea. So it kind of takes a little of the edge off.
Yeah. And I think the other thing that was always important about how we created flavored teas and teas in general is finding flavors or sharing flavors that make people smile. So when they drink that cup of tea, we're making sure that...
Was that the catalog this year? Was that this year or no?
Teas that make you smile?
Yeah.
I think it was.
See?
But
wasn't it?
But this year's catalog is going to be...
No, not this year. This year as in last year.
When will then be now?
Yes.
Well, we have been delivering 40 years of smiles almost. 39 and change.
Yes. No. And we're going to try to keep it going. So we're going to keep those smiles going a little further. And That is certainly a delicious one. I think we have one more left. What do we got?
We do have
Lapsang
one left.
Well, I just want to interrupt real
in the
quick.
meantime,
Oh yeah, we got
Al,
and we
do
got questions
any
or
We're
questions?
Al?
getting some great questions, and I wanted to let you guys know that behind you is a giveaway thing. So come up with a question, 2 giveaway things. They are Valentine themed,
Oh,
except for that one thing. I'm not sure if you wanted to give that to someone else. We'll come up with something different. But remember,
okay. Well, so ask us.
What
your
is
question.
that?
but
This?
you guys come up with the questions while you're thinking about that. And meanwhile, I have some great questions that were coming in while we were talking.
There we go. Well, is this one of them? This is one of them. Johnny,
Look at that beautiful
What do we
set.
got? 2. This is perfect with any of these guilty pleasures because, of course, you could be stirring in perhaps some honey with that there guilty pleasure of some Harney and Sons tea.
Now, should we have them email Mike unsolicited
Yes,
again?
yes.
Please.
Yes, email Mike. Mike's a good guy for this job. He likes this job and he's good at it. And the bright side is you can say Mike, you can say Michael, you can spell Michael any way you want, and it'll probably get to him.
Maybe.
In the meantime, I did drop his email below.
See,
Down
we got
here.
that one.
Yep. Right.
So
below
that's
the
one.
table.
And I think the question, one of the questions could be, of course, is when?
Was Harney and Sons founded?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, that could be one of them.
I like
that. Sounds like a good idea. Like,
like that
win,
trivia.
Win.
When or win? Do
Not-
they win?
No, they're gonna win. They're gonna win, and it's win. Huh? What do you think?
That sounds good. Al, so what are some of these questions that we can
here we go.
shed some light on?
Jonathan on YouTube says, which one of these has the least amount of sugar?
Jonathan, nice to hear from you. Thank you for writing in. These all have no sugar. So they all tie for first for the least amount of sugar.
Yes, you have to add your own sugar, Jonathan. And we only hope you bought the sugar from us. That's all we can offer. Demerara, perhaps.
Demerara, we do have those the sugar
Smoked,
crystals.
and we have the smoked
bourbon
smoked sugar.
Yep.
And what else we got?
We got some honey options.
We got monk fruit.
Oh,
if
you
you
do
want,
have your
if you want to go
Zen-
monk, you could go monk fruit.
the Zen.
1,000 times sweetness of sugar.
Very sweet. Is very sweet.
Yes. So go delicate with it.
Yeah. Be judicious.
Yes.
We got another comment here from Kira who's saying Florence is beautiful, especially outside of the tourist season.
The city of Florence and the tea of Florence is beautiful.
Then a different John on Facebook, totally not the same John, says, what is the best base tea for a sweeter flavored tea?
The best base tea for a sweeter
I thought that was a
flavored
great
tea.
question.
That is
It's a good
a
one.
great question.
You've been a master tea blender longer than me, so
Well, there's
what
a
is-
lot of the Chinese, of course, make some very delicious black tea blends that we use for the bases, and so you want sort of a neutral one that's got body to it, and not obviously not much bite because the bite will of course direct you away from the flavor. So you want a nice gentle one. The English breakfast is a good place to start. The Ceylon in India, perhaps less so,
Right.
because we have some Assam in there that's going to give it some bite.
Once you get into the British legacy teas, you do find that they have a bit too much of their own distinct flavors. They've got that maltiness, that briskness that most people find bracing.
Yes.
So not sweet.
Right. So definitely a Chinese black
Yeah.
would get you in the neighborhood more so.
And if you're exploring herbals, rooibos is a great
Yeah,
base
that's a
for-
great vehicle right there.
It's got a nice, smooth sweetness to it.
Now, here's an important one. Jason on Facebook asks, can nut flavoring affect people with nut allergies?
I think it's reason we treat it as a allergen. So I think the answer to that would be
Probably
yes.
Probably just stay safe.
It's the safest option. It's not
Safety first.
derived from nuts, to my understanding, but it is safer to stay away from them. So if
Right.
you do have tree nut allergens and nut allergens, staying away from things with almond or hazelnut is definitely a safe bet.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay. We have to do lightning round here because we're running out of time.
Well, this is how much fun we're having.
well,
All right,
before
well-
we wait,
Well, yeah, we'll get to that one.
okay.
I just got some questions to run through.
Okay, hit it.
Mike would die for this. He would-
Okay. Well, we just had enough teas on the table.
You guys loaded it. Kel wants to know if selections will be available in trial packages, aka samples.
I believe a lot of these are available in samples. We have about 60 teas available in sample size, and most of these fit the
Most likely.
Yeah.
These are of course entries into the world of tea. A lot of the flavored teas tend to be entries into the world of tea because people don't know necessarily what Darjeeling tastes like, but they do know what chocolate tastes like, or perhaps even vanilla. Maybe not lychee though.
No, lychees does seem to be maybe far out there.
But what about lapsang, Em? What do we got? We got.
Can I get to lapsang? All right. So the last thing on here that we were going to share with you guys was our lapsang souchong. So for those of you, much like yourself, actually, Uncle Paul, that enjoy a nice maybe peaty whiskey,
Yep.
or a rye, this is a nice smoked pine black tea.
That's a delicious tea. Lapsang is a great one, and it's certainly one that has a unique flavor to it, and it's not in the realm like the ones we have out here on the table. It might be
definitely far out there,
drifting in a different direction for more unique flavors, but it's one I enjoy quite a bit. Nothing like some lapsang.
Oftentimes when I would work at the shop in Manhattan, and we'd find that somebody was perhaps like a whiskey or a rye bourbon drinker, this was always a go-to for me to share with them because it reminds me a lot of like a Lagavulin Scotch. So for anybody that's into maybe something on the peatier side or the smokier side, this is definitely right up there.
Well, if you like whiskey, you're probably going to like lapsang. It's probably a good
safe bet.
Good place to start. Or if you like, you drink a lot of coffee, it's sort of it falls into that where you're if you're not looking for sort of a flavor of vanilla chocolate kind of thing, lapsang's now. Who doesn't like a little smoke?
Yeah.
If you like smoke, that's where you want to go, right?
Exactly. And I'm a big fan of smoke, so I do like this.
Though how you A, how you B, they got a little touch of smoke to them, right? Those Chinese.
I'd be good. Thank you for
Yep.
asking.
Those Chinese blacks are also have a hint of smoke, though unfortunately the smoke is changing out there.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves.
And any lightning rounds in there for us?
Well, yeah. Oopsie. Yes. Quickly, Kira wants to know for those of us new to the live shows, what are the contest rules? Just email Michael the answer.
Just email Mike the answer.
There's very complex rules.
Did you want to bring up the second
Yep.
gift there?
Yeah. We
The
do want to
second
show the
giveaway?
second gift.
Yes, it comes with a nice box too, right?
It does.
Box
So-
is on the older side, but yes.
Yes.
Whoop, missed it.
Tea.
Where? There we are. It's kind of hard to see in this.
White on white.
Yeah. Maybe can I? Does that help? No, it
The
doesn't.
box helps
Yeah.
for
The
sure.
The
box
box.
helps.
Yeah, no, the box is a
Okay.
nice looking
I
box.
think we just show the box.
Just show the box.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can see that we've got 2 mugs here, and it comes with a saucer, and it's it could be a great thing for a couple or 2 friends to enjoy, and you can either drink the same tea or 2 different teas.
And you know what's great about it is you only need 1 plate.
Only 1 plate. If you've got a tiny table.
Yep. So if you don't have a dishwasher, this is kind of the product you want right here.
And
Yeah.
and the question for this one, you're also going to email Mike Harney. And the question is going to be, what was the name of our founder? We'll go with that one.
That was easy.
Jeez.
Well,
Well,
they're all easy. I mean, it's not like we're trying.
We don't
hard
want to
here.
make it too complicated.
let's see what we get. Let's see what we get.
And then we got another
Okay.
question here. Is it possible that we do a package with the sugar honey and our choice of teas? We don't exactly, but we do have an option.
We do have quite a few gifts where that you can get like a sampler of a whole bunch of teas and some honey sticks.
And that's called what, Em?
the tea bag and honey sampler,
There
or
you
the
go.
wrapped sachet and honey
Which I
sampler.
swear by that. That's a great gift, and it's great to have at home.
It
People
is-
love that. I mean, the great thing about tea is, of course, the variety. And you can see just in this selection here, there is 7 different varieties of tea just for this particular guilty
Occasion.
pleasure occasion.
Yeah.
And these are just a quick little riff that we came up with. As you can see, there's plenty of people that would come up with another flavor that they would consider perhaps a guilty pleasure.
Exactly.
Are these the only flavors in the guilty pleasure?
No.
There's other flavors.
We cut.
How do we determine
we-
what is a guilty?
We generally were looking at like whether it was drinking like a cocktail or looking at a sweet dessert or a candy, and that's what we put into the guilty pleasures category that will be available this weekend for 20% off.
And one more question, and I think we have a good answer for this person. Stevie wants to know, when are you guys going to bring out the Lunar New Year tea in big bags or loose leaf? I'm dying over here because I ran out.
Well, you're
Frowny
lucky,
face.
man. You're lucky. There happens to
Or-
be.
Or Stevie. Stevie could be a girl.
Yeah.
So you're
No,
lucky,
you're lucky.
Stevie.
Stevie,
Stevie.
you're lucky.
We actually will have a limited run of 50 count sachet bags available soon.
I believe almost instantaneously. I
No.
think they're done. No, they're not.
No, I
done?
don't think. I think we got most of it done. I don't know if it's available yet.
Yeah,
They're
but I
not-
think it's packed already.
It's definitely packed. It's just a matter of somebody putting it-
Operationally,
It's like, does that person in here speak to that person in here?
the answer is
that's-
no. The answer is no, Stevie. So it's going to be
I believe
maybe
these guys
a little
behind the
longer.
cameras did their jobs. Yes, we're good. So then
We're getting
it's-
real close.
It's somebody downstairs has not done. Is it
We
there?
don't have to play the blame game. It'll be
Yeah.
there.
I think tomorrow is a better day to check back for it.
But anyways, that's good news. And my only recommendation would be to buy it, because
'Cause-
when it's gone,
It's gone.
it's gone till next year, and you got to wait until the year of the. That could have been the question.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, we're gonna give away a tin of Florence if you tell us what next year's lunar calendar says. 1 tin of Florence.
Mike at Harney Tees. Michael at Harney Tees. Michelle.
You can make it AEEA.
Don't do Michelle. AEA.
Yeah, AEA. Any of those, probably you could test it and see which one does not work.
One might not work. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Everybody for tuning in. It's great to be able to make a guest appearance here.
Yes, thank you all very much, and to your health, and have a great rest of the week and an excellent weekend.
Super Bowl weekend, Paul.
Oh, yes, Super Bowl weekend,
Any
and
predictions?
I'm picking Philly.
Go Eagles.
Because we have a warehouse in Philly, and we got to pick the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay? I'm laying down the law right now. Philly.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.